This webinar is being recorded, so all our participants will receive the recorded webinar today after it's over. The Summer Institute for the Gifted has provided academic programs for gifted, creative, and academically talented students since 1984. And we are thrilled to be entering our 36th summer and have offered online enrichment programs since 2003. SIG seeks to provide the highest quality of educational and social opportunities through programs designed to meet students' abilities. Throughout this presentation, we will highlight how our online programs emulate our mission. These programs are focused on enriching young minds and seek to provide programming that helps students on their path towards self-discovery and empowerment. All our SIG programs are eligibility-based. Students are required to provide evidence of high academic ability, achievement, or creativity. As you can see here, there are two ways students can exhibit high ability or potential, and they can also demonstrate it through type 1 academic achievement or type 2 creativity. International students use the same eligibility procedures as U.S. students, and they require type 1 eligibility. We also require a demonstration of proficiency in English for our international students, and our admissions team may request a Skype interview on behalf of our international students. Specifically for our spring and online programs starting April the 27th, SIG encourages all students who have an interest in our course topics to take this opportunity to experience creative and critical engagement with like-minded peers. And as eligibility documentation may be difficult to obtain quickly due to the pandemic, SIG will accept one parent recommendation form for spring 2020 online learning programs. So let's take a look at our academic approach here at SIG as it relates to our online learning programs. Our STEAM Plus focus for each course is implemented with 3 objectives in mind. It provides academic programming that offers dynamic, intellectual engagement, it is driven by student interest, and it develops students' social and emotional needs. In a nutshell, it's the optimal educational enriching environment a gifted, creative, and academically talented student could ask for. So let's take a look at each of these components more closely. First, instruction is presented through dynamic, varied learning opportunities. Students are given opportunities to engage in collaborative, inquiry-based, and problem-solving learning experiences online through interactive and hands-on assignments at home that they will work through. They are encouraged to make connections with authentic situations, current events, and to exercise their critical and creative thinking skills in imagining novel solutions. Within a 3 or 6 week period, that's either the summer or the spring, students study the course content from multiple perspectives and end the course with a final product based on their personal objectives merged with new information that they've learned. This culminating product allows them opportunity to apply their learning to real problems, suggesting solutions for local or global challenges. Second, our online coursework is driven by student interest. Instructors differentiate learning experiences so that they are aligned with the readiness and interest of each student. Course instructors pre-assess students to gather more information about the content knowledge that they know coming into the course, as well as get to know what they'd like to come out of from the course. Additionally, students identify a personal objective that will complement their studies with the course objectives. Based on instructors' observations and formative assessments, they provide recommendations and options for how their learning can best meet their needs and interests from week to week. It's also important that students are developed socially and emotionally during our program, as well as academically and intellectually. So we believe that meeting young people's intellectual needs is critical to encouraging their social and emotional well-being. Students participate in discussion forums that help them communicate with class peers and meet with their instructors as a class for academic or social experiences. In regards to that social component, you'll see more of that with the summer online. We will provide virtual video conferences for the summer online. With the spring online, it is more use of the forum and not as much on a weekly basis for the social component. Our SIG instructors, they like to cultivate a minds-on approach that allows them to engage in depth and complexity with course objectives while integrating professional perspectives within the content. Students merge their critical and creative thinking abilities with real-world applications to brainstorm and propose novel solutions and topics of interest. So let's take a look at a popular summer course we offer for ages 9 and 10-year-olds, and it's called Ocean Crisis, Let's Clean Up Our Act. In this course, students record and track their trash consumption over the course of 3 weeks to internalize the quantity of trash that one person produces over time, along with other experiments that they do and engage in to help them understand environmental impacts of marine pollution. Students also develop their knowledge from professional perspectives, where they participate in a critical analysis of laws and policies that help or hinder ocean pollution to determine the areas that need further manipulation in the future. We want students to think like marine biologists, lawyers, environmentalists, consumers, and other professionals in the field, and brainstorm solutions for their current community, national, or global concerns. In the end, students formulate a variety of different products such as awareness campaigns, fundraising proposals, innovative prototypes to extract waste from the ocean, new methods to reduce pollution, and so much more. Within our online course, instructors will provide students with feedback to assignments or online posts on Moodle through comments or messages they provide. Specifically for the spring online program, students receive feedback through rubrics, which is just another more open-ended way of providing feedback for assignments completed by the instructor for specific assignments that they have for the week. And that's really just for the spring online program, and also for the end of the product culminating product that they have at the end of the session. At the end of the program, students in both the spring and summer sessions receive a student performance review for each completed course. This review is provided by the course instructor and is made available in the student's portal 3 to 4 weeks after the program ends. Instructors provide qualitative evaluations using short narratives that highlight their learning experiences and accomplishments completed in the course, and also provide opportunities for future study. The SPRs, or the Student Performance Reviews, provide an individualized communication regarding the learning and the growth that took place in the course. And upon request, SPRs can be sent to schools as well. So let's take a closer look at the differences between the spring and summer program structures. Specifically for the spring, students have more flexibility to complete weekly assignments within a given week. At the beginning of the week, on Mondays, instructors will post their assignments and tasks that the students have all week to work on, and there'll be scattered deadlines for that week. As long as students meet those due dates, they would have made feedback, like I said, using rubrics. It's like a matrix of where they fall within their performance with that weekly assignment, and as well as for their culminating product. And they get that each week starting week 2, and as well as for week 6 with their culminating product. With the online format, much of the work is completed by the student outside of the logged in session. They usually log in for the session to gather the information they need to do and work on for the week. And so for younger students, parent support may be needed in uploading videos, doing posts, uploading videos that they may have taken to summarize the tasks that they've done. Instructors are available to guide students, and they're there to set up individual conferences, and we'll have weekly office hours where students can directly access them through the Moodle platform, which is the course. The spring session is a 6-week program. The tuition is $425 per course, plus the $25 application fee, which is non-refundable. Students should plan for 4 to 6 hours of coursework throughout the week, and that includes the time that they're logged in to get their information and time that they've logged out to do some of those tasks in a more guided independent study format. During the spring program, instructors will set up individual conference sessions to get to know the students via virtual methods or through phone communication. This method allows them to get to know the students personally and facilitate their learning experiences. As we mentioned previously, the spring session follows a guided independent study format, and so students have flexibility to complete their coursework each week. During the spring session, instructors will offer virtual conferences for the class as needed, but mostly at the mid-session, which is around week 3, and then at the close around week 6. But parents are free to request any kind of video conferences or Facetime as needed. For the spring session, we have 12 courses available for ages 5 to 12, 2 per age band. Students have minimal supplies that are required for the course and can utilize household materials that they can find or recyclable materials. If there are any books that are required for the course, the instructor will reach out to parents and communicate that, but it is very minimal in any one of these courses. And then remember, our spring online learning student application deadline is Friday, April the 17th, so please register today. So let's switch gears and let's look at our Summer Online Intensive program structure. The Summer Online Intensive is identified as an intensive program because it takes our original 6-week program and compacts it into a 3-week period. In our Summer Online Intensive program, students must plan for a time commitment of 7 to 9 hours per week for each enrolled course. Instructors will provide course material daily versus weekly, like we talked about in spring, to participate in along with the target dates throughout the week for course assignment submissions. Additionally, in our Summer Online Intensive program, students interact with class peers and instructors 2 to 3 times each week in real time through virtual video conferencing methods for academic purposes and also for social activities. One feature we're really excited about to share is that students in the summer will get to cultivate their social relationships in the course with peers across courses or within their age groups to build friendships, share common interests, and expand their awareness of culture and diversity at all in the comfort of their home. The Summer Online Intensive Session is a 3-week program, and the tuition is $500 per course plus the $25 application fee. Students should plan, like we said, for 7 to 9 hours of coursework per course throughout the week. For our Summer Intensive Session, designated courses will have additional course supplies or books that will be needed to purchase by the first week of the program. Specific course information will be available a month before each session starts on the student's portal so the parents can prepare accordingly for the student courses. As noted, there are 3 different summer online intensive programs available for the summer, and they all have different application deadlines. We have 1 session each in June, July, and in August. And students can enroll in all 3 sessions and may take multiple courses within each session. However, please note that the time commitment for each course and register accordingly. Each session has its own student application deadline, and so please visit our website for more information. If you look on our screen now, you'll see an example of the type of courses available within each session. This particular sampling is from our session 1 that begins June the 22nd. As you can see, each age group here has a few course options, and for ages 9 to 17, there are additional art courses as well. Courses indicated with the special characters have either additional course supplies or technology requirements, and like we mentioned, that will be available on the students portal a month before the program starts. Our online learning staff is comprised of an online learning coordinator and course instructors. Our online learning coordinator will provide initial communication with parents of enrolled students and provide important updates throughout the session. At the end of the session, the online coordinator will share the student performance reviews available by course for enrolled students. We have our course instructors next. They are our key individuals who will be working with your students. They are professionals and educators who are trained to work with gifted, creative, and academically talented students. They work very closely with students to provide instruction and to facilitate engaging academic and social experiences, and they're also the ones responsible to write the student evaluations at the end of the program that are shared with parents. So for our online learning program, we use the Moodle Learning Management System, and we also integrate a Big Blue Button for our Facetime virtual video conferences. Together, these applications help facilitate the online courses and the structures that students enjoy. Here at SIG, our primary concern is student safety, so all communication within our site is secure, as only students and their instructors can participate through our online forums. Any virtual video conferences are conducted within the secure course on Moodle. In addition, students are given information on a code of conduct the first week that they have to sign and upload, and it emphasizes highly responsible digital practices that they need to work on as a continuing requirement for participating in the program. So at this point, we like to open up the line to any questions that you may have or any thoughts or comments. Please share your questions right now. All questions are welcome, and we'll try to cover as many as we can. So we have a question right now. It says, how do these classes look like online? Is someone talking? Is there a PowerPoint presentation? What does it look like? That's a very great question. The way for spring and for summer, for spring specifically, all the tasks are uploaded by the instructor, let's say on a Monday, and it's a list of tasks that need to be done. Among those tasks is a video that's pre-recorded by the instructor for, let's say, about 10 to 15 minutes or so. So it just captures the attention of the student that talks about what they're going to do. FaceTime session from the instructor to answer any questions. You are free to request that, but there's not a weekly real-time session with the instructor for spring. Now for summer, it's the same format, but additionally, there are 2 to 3 times where the instructor will meet with the class in real time to talk about academic or social experiences that will enrich the course. If you are an international student, I know the time zone is a concern, and so these sessions are recorded. So if you happen to not be able to meet in that time, you can watch it, and then you can also work with the instructor to meet at a later time. What the instructors will do for the summer is that they'll look at their pool of students for the class and see what the optimal time is, and then they will also schedule things so that everyone can participate in that feature of the program. All right, I think there were a couple of questions up here. Another question that we have is how large is each class? So for a class that is going to have students, you're looking at about 7 to 15 students within the class. The next question is, who are the instructors for the summer courses? Both our spring and summer courses have instructors who are either educators in the field or professionals in their field who have expertise in that subject matter, and they're all trained to work with gifted, creative, and academically talented students. In our on-site programs, they are usually from the local area, but for our online classes, they could be from any of the states. Another question that we have is, are you still going to have on-campus sessions, or is it just your online sessions that are available? We do have some on-site sessions that are still open. So if those continue to be open, you can register for the on-site programs as well as the online. So we really are hoping that we can have all our programs available, especially on-site, in addition to our online. The next question is, how much office hours do the kids get for spring? And I'm assuming you're talking about the instructor office hours. So the instructor office hours for spring are usually 1 hour a week. So they would be available for that full hour, whether their students coming in or out. And that's a time that you can count on to meet with the instructor for any questions. And that will be a FaceTime video conference session that will be open during the week. In terms of class time hours for the student, we are looking at 4 to 6 hours a week, like I said, but because those tasks can be completed during the week, you can maybe put half an hour to an hour every day toward the completion of those tasks, or watching things, or reading material, etc. I think there are a couple more questions here. Another question is, I'm interested in the summer program. My child is 12 years old, and I would like to have more details about the topics covered. What you could always do is you could always reach out to our admissions, and if you want any course-specific questions about objectives, the type of learning that will take place, reach out to admissions, and they'll always forward your email to me, and I can always answer any of those questions that are course specific. I know there's some questions about, will these courses meet my child's, will it be challenging? And I know that's always an important question that is out there, because different programs offer different things. One thing that we pride ourselves in here at SEG is that we not only offer challenging courses with objectives that really move them into a variety of different paths. And those 4 things that we talked about today about professional perspective, having novel solutions, having a minds-on approach, those are all those key areas that develop our course. And so alongside that, they are also working on a personal interest that is facilitated toward unanswered questions in the field. So we love our courses for the way they've been structured, and students really get a lot out of it. Another question that we have is, if we were signed up for a summer program on site and it was canceled, can we move our payments to an online summer program? Absolutely. And if you email admissions, they will take care and move whatever you've already invested accordingly. Another question is, how are students able to socialize? Can they see them online, or is it just via names? So through our summer online program, there is that social component feature that we're really excited to start. So students will be able to have Facetime, real-time video conferences that the instructor facilitates. For the spring, that is not a feature of the program, but like I said, there 2 times in the session, the instructor will host a class session mid-session and at the end. So it's more with the summer programs that the social component is a feature. But even throughout both our programs, they are intermingling. You know, they're posting pictures, they're posting videos of each other, of the work they've done, so they do see the students in a different capacity, maybe not so much in real time in the spring. Another question that we have is, do students get official credit for the course? We are an enrichment program, so they don't receive any specific credit through any kind of university or institution, but at the end of the program, at the end of the spring and summer, they will receive a certificate of completion if they successfully completed the course. And then another question is, for the summer online courses, will students get a final grade? And there are no grades that are offered by instructors. It's purely for enrichment. We really want students to just not have any of those demands placed. We want them to go beyond the extent that they could go, but we do offer, like I mentioned, the certificate of completion and the student performance review also provides that narrative feedback of what was accomplished in the course and where they can go from this point. This is a very good question. Will the anticipating algebra spring class count as a prerequisite for the summer algebra class? Absolutely. So that works actually perfectly if you're interested in going that direction. So the next question is about the video instruction online for the spring. In a week, the instructors are going to provide a presentation that is pre-recorded, where students will see their face and see and essentially how do you make the online instruction engaging? That's a great question as well. the engagement really comes with some of the weekly assignments and the closing tasks for the week. A lot of these assignments are things that students have to do, explore, investigate. For example, in building blocks of engineering, the way things work, most of their assignments are going to be engineering challenges that they have to figure out, design, test, have like different trials, and really go through and apply the engineering design principles in place that they learn about. So we do encourage interactive assignments all the time. That's our goal. And even within our discussion forums, it's not just posting, you read something and you post your response. We really want students to, it becomes a task that they have to go and maybe gather information on, test out something, and then respond in reaction to what they found out or explored. And so then it becomes more of a community of answers and ideas that start forming. So we try to make it as interactive as it can be. I think there are a couple more questions here that I may have missed. So another question is, my daughter has already turned 10, but not yet 11, and she'd like to enroll in a class that is for 11 and 12-year-olds. That is through something called the Waiver Application process. You can apply for consideration for a course outside your age level of your child, and that happens after acceptance. So after acceptance, if you can please forward to me, or just share that with admissions, they will forward the information to me, and we can talk about the next steps. It does require an educator recommendation. However, if that's a little difficult to access right now, I can work with you on ensuring that the course is a good fit for your children. Another question is, this is the first time SIG is offering online courses. We actually have had online courses off and on since 2003. And so we've done this for quite a few years, and we continue to improve our processes each year. This is a really good question. Why should you sign up for a SIG course as opposed to other online programs that are out there? What are some of the advantages? That is a really great question, because there is so much out there even now with our pandemic. There's so many online opportunities. And so I would say those three areas that we talked about today, about dynamic intellectual engagement driven by student interest, and then that social component as well, especially for the summer classes. Those are the three features that make our instruction, our online program, stand out, because we not only want students to get deeper into the topics and to work with complex and abstract ideas, we want them also to really fuel their personal interest into fields and really propel them into areas that are still unanswered in the field, have them really connect with the real world, where they can continue it past the online programs. We don't want their learning just to stop, after the 3 or 6 weeks. That is our goal. And so a lot of the culminating products that students come out with, it really is an accomplishment that they come with, and then they continue a lot of times to pursue even outside of the session. So one thing that I really love about SIG that I don't know if so many other programs offer is that we're not only providing that course complexity with topics, that are relevant to the course, but we're also aligning and meshing the students' interests alongside, and both of those grow simultaneously and concurrently to help students just, take on and be contributors in our society. Another question is there a geometry class? We don't have a geometry class available for the spring, and I don't, and not so much in the summer either. But if there is strand of geometry that they're interested in pursuing, a lot of that can be integrated with their personal student objective. So that's the best thing about SIG too. If there's something that we don't offer necessarily that your student has as a course, we can always integrate these interests into a similar course so that they can also channel some of those interests alongside the course objectives. So we're happy to customize that approach for you as well. We talked about registering kids for an above level age course. If you can just reach out to admissions, they will follow your, they will forward your interests along to the appropriate people and will help you get to those courses. The question we have here is, if we're admitted to the summer already, do we need to have another admissions process for spring? You don't. You just need to reach out to admissions and they will transfer accordingly to the spring program. Just please let them know what course you're interested in. I think this is another interesting question. What happens if we're enrolled in the summer on-site program and that gets canceled? Will we have an opportunity to enroll in the online program? We hope to really have some answers for you before a lot of these summer sessions have started. So if you have any specific questions about programs, please reach out to admissions as well. But you should know whether your programs are in place hopefully before the online programs have started, and then accordingly you can sign up for any of those 3 sessions. I think that's it. You guys were very active and participant, and we love that. If you still have any questions, and I know there are a ton that you probably haven't even thought of, please reach out to admissions and they will forward your questions appropriately to the right folks. And here is that admissions email that I keep on talking to you about, and our toll-free number as well. And we are so glad that you joined us today, and we hope that to see your children in any one of our 4 programs. Like I mentioned, our spring online deadline is this Friday, and we'll start April the 27th. Thanks a lot for your participation and for joining us. We hope to connect soon.